change it. The only real option is to point it out for what it is. Blind hatred. Hatred of men. And until women stop playing their little games, until they're willing to acknowledge their own toxicity, acknowledge their hatred of men, and take real steps to address it, there is no point, none whatsoever, in being around or talking to them. In fact, if everything, it's downright risky for them, as so many men who have faced false allegations have found out. The best option, the only option, is for men to do what they are doing and have been doing, which is to just walk away. Walk away from all the insanity that is today's modern women. Gyms used to be packed, but now, empty benches, quiet halls, or at least signs on the windows. More and more men are walking away from traditional gyms. The industry is feeling the shock. Here's why.
After supporting COVID
No, excuse me, ma'am.
and
Hi,
YouTube
I'm so sorry.
nonsense.
I'm going to ask you to leave the facility. Did I do something wrong? Yeah, you're actually way too fat. It's taking up too much space when the members are uncomfortable. Oh, okay, I'm so sorry.
I don't know how we got to a point where people do this content that doesn't benefit us in any way. The only thing it does is that it annoys people next to her.
Go ahead and follow me, please.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here.
People be like, why do you keep posting your ass much? Do you know how much protein I've consumed in the last 2 years?
I'm here to tell you right now.
We don't care.
We don't care.
Do you know how many times I've had to set up for hip thrust? Do you know how many times I almost passed out doing Bulgarian split squats? You damn Skippy, I'ma post it.
Huh?
Excuse me, ma'am. Unfortunately, when I asked you to leave the facility...
Did I do something wrong?
It's pretty difficult to put into words how disgusted I am, how depressed I am.
So this is basically what she does for content. She does something incredibly inappropriate in the gym and wonders what she did wrong when caught. And even if it's a skit, it's still disrespectful to the other members.
No, we just had a lot of members complain to the front desk about you.
What did I do?
They just said that they weren't able to find your waist. So, yeah, with that much, asked you to leave the facility today, okay?
Oh, okay. I understand.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Get out of here, man.
I remember one time I was wearing this outfit in a video, and somebody said to me, "You're asking for it," and I talk about gym harassment, and then I just like this. Let me make something so clear. A woman's choice of outfit is never, ever asking for it. It doesn't matter what the wearing. All that's telling me is that you can't control yourself.
I do agree that no one should ever be harassed for their clothing. But the point she's forgetting is that gyms have teenagers and also families. It's a respectable institute, and we need to go there in a decent choice of clothes.
If you think that me wearing a sports bra that's a little bit low cut and shorts that's quite short means that I want to be harassed in the gym,
We do not care.
you have lost your marbles. I don't know why people can't understand that gym harassment has nothing to do with the person being harassed. It all comes down to the harasser. My goal is to minimize gym harassment and make women feel confident in the gym. If you're a man that harasses women based on what they wear, that's your own and you're a weirdo.
We never condone harassment or unwanted attention, but we also don't condone indecent sets of clothes in a public place where people bring their kids in. You might think this guy is staring, but he's just confused about what she's doing, especially with her putting the camera and doing this strange set.
What the is this piece of
It's really hard to not be curious, especially when someone is doing a weird exercise next to you.
Holy Jesus. What is that?
There should be rules against filming in the gym. I have a home gym. I sometimes miss going to the gym when I watch these videos and remain happy at home.
Out at the gym, and y'all mad about that man who said y'all not wearing enough clothes? I just saw that video of that lady doing that leg press at the gym. Getting it in, talking about how she want a bigger wagon. She's a little bit on the slim, muscular side. But the angle she had that phone, y'all, you would have thought I was a gynecologist. That's not how you want to express it. But I should not be able to tell which lip is bigger. Ladies, I don't. Hear me out. There's no reason I should be able to tell what's going on in that cootie cat.
She knows what she's doing is wrong and still doesn't care.
Now, I'm not saying women gotta be modest as a nun. I'm not saying that. But is it getting a little bit too out of hand? I understand the influencers, they're pushing the little outfits, teensy-weensy, itsy-bitsy. But to be more risque than the girls are at the club, it gets to a point. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's your body. You do what you want to do with your body. But if people can tell by your spandex outfit what's going on in between your bits, maybe, just maybe, you might need a little bit more clothes. I'm sorry.
She told her what we were all thinking in the most respectful way ever.
I'm sorry.
So loud.
Now here, I'd have to agree with the lady running because she's doing nothing wrong, just doing her exercise. And the other lady should wear some headphones if she is annoyed by the sound, because we have no control over it.
I can't even hear my music.
So many people sent me this video. This young woman, Zara, is doing sprints, a great workout, when another woman approaches her and very loud and obnoxiously yells, "Hey," telling her that she's being too loud, she can't hear her own music. First off, they make noise-canceling headphones for a reason. She should get a pair. Secondly, the gym is not a library. People are going to make noises when working out. There is nothing wrong with Zara doing sprints.
Going to a gym expecting it to be silent is like wanting to be a car that makes no noise.
If that woman wants to work out in silence, she should train at home. But what I really love is the fact that Zara stays calm. She doesn't get confrontational. She doesn't respond to that woman with the same negative energy that she has. So thank you, Zara. You look incredible. Keep up the hard work.
Always fight rude people with kindness, and everyone will take your side. This lady was recording in the gym, and as everyone was walking in front of her, she was annoyed like she owned the place. But she failed to realize that it's a public space, and people have to deal with her, not the other way around.
You don't want to be like this. This is disgusting. This is awful in every way. I can't believe it's 2023 and people still recording in public gyms like it's their own space. And this is coming from someone that actually records content in the gym. I see this going around a lot. People bring out a tripod when they think they are owed, like, privacy in a public gym, which is just so easy. Sometimes I'm recording in the gym and people apologize, and I purposely go out of my way to make sure they know, hey, you don't need to apologize for moving in a public space. It's me being the narcissist recording myself.
Just because you have a camera doesn't make you better than the other members in that space.
Don't worry about other people recording themselves. You just do you.
We really in a day and age. We're telling people, can you please stop coming to the gym? Fuck naked. Starts a public discourse.
You know what? I couldn't agree more. We got women, we got gym females running around out there, leaving nothing to the imagination. But I think I'm gonna leave it to you to tell her. Like, I went to the gym the other day, and how am I supposed to get my pump, get my swole on when there's clowns like this running around? I'm just here to lift so I can be strong enough to fight a gorilla. And there's people walking by look like they're cosplaying. Like, she asked me about my multi-pass. How am I supposed to focus? It's not like I have eyeballs that are directly under my control and can just look the other way.
Got it.
Wait, I don't even know what we're supposed to do. We can't call them names. We're not supposed to compare their workout routines.
The only solution is to either own a private gym or to work outside.
I constantly have to control myself, and I just don't know if I can do that. What we really need to do is get back to a more wholesome time, like, I don't know, the 80s. Yeah, exactly, 1985. I'm not sure that's going to help. Let's go further back, 1970. That is a lot of legs. You know what? This might be a me problem. I found the solution. You can wear whatever you want as long as I'm not attracted to you. God damn it.
I put on what I put on and go to the gym because I want to see my muscles while I'm working out. I want to see them flex. No woman comes to the gym and wants your attention. Following women from machine to machine, licking your lips, staring at them, talking to them, smiling at them.
You serious?
Interrupting their set.
When have you ever seen that? Men just go to work out and achieve their goals. We're not interested in anything else.
To tell them that they're beautiful, nobody wants to hear that. I am working out. If you're not telling me my form isn't proper or proper, don't say nothing to me. Don't say, listen, if I were a man working out, you would never interrupt his set because you have respect for men, but you're entitled, right? You have a sense of entitlement over women, so you think you can tell me whatever you want to tell me and don't nobody want to hear that.
Fuck off and die.
Weird.
I don't want your attention. I want muscles.
That is the least of our concerns. Trust me.
That's an interesting format. What do you call that? It's just full squat. Is it? Yeah. Is that actually part of your workout? Yeah. Interesting. Well, not when you're dressed like that. And not here. Not here. I can't work out. Not dressed like that. No. And not doing that. And you're recording it.
Yes! Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Come on!
Okay. So, are you going to leave? Yes.
Finally, I'm glad to see that someone speaks up when they see this behavior.
Finally, a woman calling out a bad behaving woman.
Minding my business, trying to film a workout for you guys. A middle-aged man stood right behind me and stared at my butt. There are other squat racks open. What is this man's problem?
What did you say?
I did not want to squat in front of him.
But she wanted to do so in front of the camera to millions of people. How does that make any sense?
Me waiting for him to go away, but he won't. I finally said,
Are you waiting for something?
he left. Now let's get to work, fish.
She could have made up this situation for views, meaning that no guy was there to begin
There
with.
is no guy there.
Never mind. He came back to stare. I stopped mid-set because I was so uncomfortable.
I don't see any reason why we should be wearing our pants, our underwears to the gym.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Now, I'm not talking about shorts, you know, the normal shirt that you can wear. I'm talking about pants. Pants where I can see your bum. It shouldn't be allowed. You shouldn't be wearing that to the gym, honestly. And if you feel like, oh, well, I can wear anything I want to the gym, it's none of your business, you need to be checked in. You need to be seen by a specialist. Because tell me why you're working out and we can see everything. Leave some things for people's imagination. Why are we seeing your bum?
Going to the gym used to be fun, but not anymore.
Please, let's stop it. Let's start dressing well to the gym. Let's start wearing decent outfits to the gym.
Well. I was at the gym today doing some dips, and this girl in the background kept staring at me. Made me feel super unsafe and super uncomfortable, and I swear she was taking pictures of me at some point. So literally straight after this, I packed my bags and canceled my membership. I went home crying, simply because of the mental trauma this caused me.
What the fuck?
I can't believe I got this on video.
Do you really think you can walk around the gym wearing that? What? You're tough. Do you really think you can walk around the gym wearing it? My top? Your boobs are hanging out. We're in a public place. Can you be respectful?
I love how direct the lady behind the camera is to her behavior.
Are you kidding me? No, we're in a public place. Do you not see everyone around you? No, you look at April saying, I'm fine, thank you. Well, I don't think you are. Okay, bye. Put a shirt on next time.
Excuse me, miss.
I have a boyfriend.
Yeah, that's great. Me too. So, just to let you know, you have a tampon sticking out of the back.
Isn't that catcalling?
No.
Not specifically like flirting. Men don't do it anymore.
Because we have morals, and we were raised well.
Because they've been told not to. It's what everybody wanted.
And I noticed this because they don't walk up to bars and they don't flirt, like at the gym, anywhere. They don't walk up to anyone anywhere.
Because they go to the bars to get drunk and they go to the gym to get fit. They don't go to either for a restraining order.
But they don't even catcall.
This is good news, though. No?
Like the creepy men who used to catcall don't even do that anymore.
Oh, hell no. Goes to show that even when the creepy guys have stopped doing it, you know it's not all men because people are still listening, even when they're creepy.
Men have gotten, like, afraid to talk to women.
Yep.
We're not afraid. We just don't care.
Like, I'm not saying I need a man to catcall me.
Of course you're not saying that. It's not like you've made a whole video about it.
But a confidence boost every once in a while won't do me any harm.
So if we was to catcall her to boost her ego, what do we get in return?
Let me get offended by you catcalling me, at least.
But why? Why would you do that? Already sold by the idea that I can have someone be offended with me as I boost their ego. Hard pass.
I walked through, like, construction sites today, and, like nothing. Not even, like, a honk from a car.
How terrible it must be to feel deprived of other people not recognizing your appearance with a creepy little catcall. I'd love to be catcalled once.
I'm not saying let's be creepy, but, like, maybe let's be a little creepy and, like, bring some confidence
Seeking toxic attention says a lot about a person's identity.
back a little bit.
Nah, don't do it. Never have, never will. Will never be convinced of doing otherwise. No, sorry. You can get enough attention online. You get your random creepy little DMs. That'll tide you over. I can't even whistle.
This lady asked this guy to help her, and the way he did was the safest way. But he will still be criticized for doing so.
You guys can imagine the comments on this one, but a lot of weightlifters have weighed in on this, and they have said that this is actually the quickest and best way to remove the weight off of her. And what I think should be appreciated is that that man did not even hesitate. She asked for help, and he gave her help as quickly as he could without really processing it. But what I fear is that this type of video makes it to the wrong side of social media, you know, like the feminist side, and the man gets torn apart for how he removed the weight from her. What this would lead to is obviously him getting criticized, which is not fair, but also other young men will see this and it might cause them to react differently to a similar situation if it occurs.
She should have been crushed. Everyone should have ignored her. No one should have rushed in. She's strong, independent, don't need no man. She can do her freaking lifts herself. A false allegation and being locked up for a month, such as what happened to Daniel Pearson in Pennsylvania, is not worth her ego boost. Let her go into that 6-foot hole.
To them. And that to me is not okay. We're not making the world a better place in that case. But what do you guys think?
Trust me, I've seen this many times in the gym, and this is the best way to help around this situation.
No, you don't help her. You're going to get your gym membership revoked. You're going to be having false allegations. You're going to be sued, and you're going to be harassed at work until they terminate you. My fees are cheap. My travel expenses aren't. I will remove the problem. And I'm not the only one.
And respect to that gentleman for helping without hesitation.
I don't feel comfortable with you watching me like this. It made me very uncomfortable. I'm your girlfriend. How dare you, my girlfriend? This has made me very uncomfortable.
These skits are funny when they show the tables flipped.
I'm serious, y'all. Hold it. He's doing unnecessary shit right now. Like, y'all, I don't really understand if he's trying to serve.
So what this man is doing is called a chest-supported seal row. This is actually a great exercise. It's good for isolating the upper back, the lats, and by laying flat with your feet off the ground, you remove any cheating or momentum that you would get from your legs.
The fact that this is a gym coach behaving this way And not even knowing the exercise is embarrassing.
For your hips. It's also really good for people that have lower back problems and can't do the conventional bent over row. It's such a great exercise that they literally make a bench for this. Now, unfortunately, you're not going to see these benches in big commercial gyms, but it's not uncommon to see people makeshift the bench just like he does. I've done it many times. But what's worst of all is that you're a certified personal trainer and you don't know this or know better than to film someone, to post on social media to make fun of him. And you recruit other people to join in and laugh at him too? Seriously? Shame on you. You need to do better. Mind your own business.
Adults acting like this is very concerning.
Let's talk about this gym clothes controversy that women are doing. They're going to these gyms and they're pretty much wearing lingerie. I've been saying this for years. You're going out to the gym or even out in public, you see a woman's print, okay? You see in their gluteus maximus and all that type of stuff. This stuff all ties in to why y'all can't keep a good man. See, the thing is, your potential husband has already seen you, okay? He's already seen you. He said, look, it's not worth the squeeze. She's allowed everybody to see her print, allowed everybody to see all this about her. I don't want to deal with it. It's not worth the squeeze at all.
If only there was a dress code and a no recording policy, things would drastically change.
And women have to understand that your value is based on the kind of man that you can keep. Okay? I'm going to say that one more time. A woman's value is based on the type of man that they can keep. So all this attention you're getting from men and women, all getting sausages all the time, getting DMs, all that type of stuff, does not mean that you can keep a man. Because your value is based on who you can keep, the kind of man that you can keep. So all this revealing yourself in the gym and making excuses, all the Jezebels in the comments, you're just exposing yourself and your husband sees it. He's seen you already, okay? So let's actually be adults about this.
This temporary attention will soon fade, but respect and values will go a long way. Well, guys, that was all for today. We'll be back soon.
XV1 up for critical review is the late, great Jordan Maxwell. Breathe, pray, care. Light tree seed, eat herb creator paper. Bound by a dark night pred. Calm, maker's leather binder. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.
Well, you see, because there's so much propaganda around the world in religion. Religions tell everybody, all the religions tell everyone basically that everything's going to be fine, that the Lord loves you, and that when you die, you go to heaven with the Lord, and you will see your family in heaven, and everything's ultimately at the end of the day, everything's going to be fine, and you'll be with the Lord in heaven, and so everyone seems to be feeling better knowing that. In point of fact, that's not true at all. That's not true at all. It never has been true. But if you understand politics and mesmerism to manipulate the human mind, which we call mind control, and if you begin to understand that today religions throughout the world are very, very important. Why? Because they tell their people what they want to hear. They do not tell them the kind of thing Jordan Maxwell will tell you, which is the real truth. Because I know what it is, and I've been there, and I can tell you exactly what's going on. But the religions of this world, like the governments of this world, will tell you what you want to hear. You want to know that everything's going to be okay, and that if and when your family passes away, and when you die, everything will be fine because you will go to heaven and you will be with the Lord. Wonderful thoughts, which are not true at all. It's a business, and it's a supply and demand. So when you look at the real truth about theology and religion and God, that is one incredible story. When you go back and for the first time actually look at the history of world religions. They are all basically the same. They're telling the people of their religion what those people want to hear. And this is why they're so successful, because the churches make tons of money. Anytime you go into a big town, a large big city today, you will see the two most impressive buildings in the big cities are banks and churches. Most people are not intellectually honest.
So here's an update to the video I covered earlier, which is titled, "Her past comes back to haunt her when fiancé learned she serviced up to 106 feet of sausage in college." And a shout out to Daryl for letting me know there's an update here. And guys, I actually had no idea at the time when I filmed it that there was an update, but apparently, I guess her account was suspended or something like that. Reddit's kind of crazy, and yet her story was shown. And then she did her updates on another account. Well, here they are. And as a recap, that's about the gal who, well, is all set to be married. Boyfriend, they've been together for 2 years, and they're now engaged. And lo and behold, somebody sent him a video of her from back in college just a few years earlier, servicing 3 dudes. And you can use your imagination on the logistics of that. And let's just say he wasn't too pleased to see his fiancée partaking in those activities. Not to mention the fact that also she was accepting money for services back then, so you know what that means. And she's pregnant now, I think, with his kid. And last but not least, she claimed to have hooked up with 80 dudes in college before him. 80 dudes. Now, nobody believes it was 80 dudes. Usually multiply times 3, more like 240. And I even did the math on probably the amount of sausages she had, the length of sausages she had. And if it was 240, probably about 106 feet of sausages. I couldn't resist. Well, anyhow, to no surprise, I get things aren't going too well after that whole post. Shocker. And she's letting people know what's going on. And of course, the comment section has people there-thering her, and he's an idiot and all that, as well as other things. So it continues. She says here, "It's been a while since I've posted, but I got a lot of comments from my original post, so I figured I'd provide an update. I have the post link below, but as a refresher, my fiancé, who I've been with for 4 years, okay, it was 4 years, my bad, was DM'd a very graphic video of me from before I knew him, and he broke up with me. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, you know about any of this. She kept it all under wraps. Lying by mission. Since my post, we did have a few conversations, but none ever really went anywhere. As it basically boiled down to him saying he didn't think he'd be able to spend the rest of his life with someone who would do something like I did. I mean, lots of something like she did. He's blindsided. I tried explaining that it was a mistake and something I would never even consider doing again, but it didn't really seem to matter to him, I guess. Mistake? Honey, you had 3 dudes at once. You also accepted money for various services, so that's not just a mistake. That's a whole lot of stupid, boneheaded, bad decisions. And you were videotaped, and you said 80 dudes, which nobody believes was 80 dudes, and we can go on. There's a whole lot of mistakes going on here. And, oh yeah, you never told him about it. Lying by mission. So, no. Obviously, he's free to make his own decisions about his life, but it's just devastating to me that this happened. You can't be that surprised. Why didn't you tell him? Seriously, here's a question. Why didn't she tell this guy before? She can't be that surprised he reacted the way she did. She didn't tell him before because she knew that he probably would have ran faster than the freaking road runner for Looney Tunes. Remember him? There'd be like smoke trails behind his ass. I was crazy in love with him, and it's all gone because of something that happened before I even knew he existed. You can't bury your past under the rug and forget it. That didn't happen. And so many gals are learning this. So I guess I'm pretty sure update. I haven't talked to him for a month because there's really nothing to say to him. I guess a lot of people have asked me to post an update at the time of the original post, and I guess I was getting around to it now. Thanks for reading. Well, now we got another little update here. She says, this was kind of a long time coming, I guess, but it became official recently, which led me to finding this subreddit again. I've been with her for 4 years, blah, 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 blah. Does anyone have any advice or anything? I know it's cliche or whatever, but I feel like he really was the one for me, and now I won't find anybody else to be with, you know. There's 8 billion people on the planet, half men, half women. She'll find somebody, but she's got to probably find somebody that was probably like her in that lifestyle. I'm trying to stay positive, but I don't even know how to do it, I guess. Sorry for the rambling post, but there's been an emotional morning for me, I guess. Thanks for reading. Well, at any rate, to no surprise, they're done. So now it's just to move on and all that. And so my suggestion to her and anybody else like this is, look, what you can't bury the past, it will come out. And so you better be upfront with different guys in the future. And all the gals out there that make me feel empowered and want to partake in these things, be aware it will get out one day. And most guys, by and large, are not going to want to be with a gal like that. So you can either lie through your teeth and hope like hell he never finds out, and he will eventually, one way or another, and then it's over. You know, this whole notion that, you know, that the feminists put out there that the past and it doesn't matter, women can do anything a guy would do, blah, blah, blah. It's ridiculous. No guy wants their girl to be the oldest bicycle. It doesn't work that way. You know, and it's disgusting to guys. Not women. A lot of women probably wouldn't care as much about a guy with a lot of women because they figured, hey, I got the guy that all the girls wanted. Guys don't want the girl that, you know, have the lacrosse team and the basketball team and the swimming team and the fucking chess team. Shout out to the chess team and the Dungeons and Dragons team, all nailed. Okay, they don't want the girl like from OnlyFans that wants to hook up with 5,000 dudes this summer. Okay, that's disgusting to them. Or accepting money. No, they want to get a quote unquote, if it's possible, a normal girl, whatever the hell that is. So, accept it. Now some comments, because what's a video of some of these wackos here. This is from a girl. She says, "This is awful. I'm so sorry, OP. This is doubly frustrating since you said the police aren't interested and no legal options are available for you." She means go try to find who sent that video to him. I will say that a person that ended an engagement with you due to this wasn't your person. A lot of people disagree with me, but I'll take this to my dying grave, that you should never have to hide aspects or pieces of your past from your lifetime partner. She did hide them from him. That's a big part of the deal. And if she didn't hide them from him, then you wouldn't be with her. A partner should accept your mistakes, your regrets, and your faults. A partner should know that you'll do the right by them and yourself. If they can't, then it wasn't the right pairing. Oh, for goodness. So she said, according to this woman's great knowledge and wisdom, that a good guy wouldn't care, and I don't need to rehash all the things she did, he wouldn't care, because he, except that's her past, da-da-da. Ever hear about pair bonding? Gals that got involved and did all these things, good luck them trying to pair bond. And eventually they're going to miss the freaky shit they once did later on in life, amongst many other things. And oh yeah, guys are disgusted by it. She says, your excess standards, that's fine, but that simply means he wasn't right for you. When a woman says something's fine, it's not fine. The pain in your heart won't accept that yet, but you'll move on. You'll find someone else wishing you the best. Well, if she's pretty and she's young, she will find somebody else. But good luck finding somebody else to stick around if they find out all of this. You know, unless she meets a guy that equally was down and dirty and all that, but that guy, the irony is that guy would probably want a pure girl, so who knows. Another one. Says this story a big example that most women don't understand men, and that some women don't like to take accountability for their actions and accept consequences. Ding, ding, ding. This guy probably watches channels like mine. To the lady, take this as a learning experience and be careful who you disclose the video to. Many guys will know you are ready to sleep with them and will find you after getting the goods. Basically, your love life is going to be much harder than it is for women without this video. To other ladies reading this story, realize now that your past matters to men. Make better decisions today so you don't end up like the OP. To the gents, do your due diligence before proposing. Otherwise, you risk the embarrassment of breaking up the engagement over such topics, and that'll mess your mind up even more. Imagine you're this guy, this chick's now ex-fiance, having to explain to everybody, yeah, Jessica here, you know, has quite a past. And has a video out there, and you know this guy's friends are all like fucking Googling her and trying to find out, you know? Mess. And last one says, first thing first, you have to heal, and the easiest way to do it is by cutting contact directly and indirectly with him. Consider him dead and buried, never speak about him again or anybody else. Evidently, don't look for any online updates that include him. Take your time and mourn your loss. As for your lucky say reservations about your ex reaction to not being on your side and defend you against who or what? Against your past actions? Sorry for the brutal wake-up call, but actions have consequences. You placed yourself in the most degrading position for a woman, having simultaneous sex with as many men as available holes. Ouch. There are not many human beings that are comfortable with the presence of a third when being intimate, and you just raised the bar to 4. Not that a threesome would have been a better situation in the video. I'm not a fortune teller to give you any hopes. The situation is what it is, and you should disclose this past experience even if you consider it the past. Yes, disclose it before getting serious involved with a new guy. This way you'll spare yourself of additional hurt. Or get a confirmation that your relationship may become solid. Good luck. So I like that a lot of people were, in this particular comment section, more people were giving her a dose of reality like that than like, they're daring her, or he's a big jerk and he should love you no matter what, because in the other one, a lot of gals were on her side because, big surprise, they were in varying degrees like her. Anyhow, guys, there you go. So, holy crap, as I said in the first video, you gotta do your homework. You gotta do your detective work if you're gonna get that serious, because that's the last thing you want. And nowadays, with things like OnlyFans, and so easy for a pretty gal to get attention and validation on social media and stuff like that, the temptation is very high for these girls to, try to be successful, if you call it success, and, doing that with their bodies, because all it takes is one picture, one video, and that's it, it's done. And a lot of gals don't want to be the next OnlyFans star and make a fortune, but, so many gals doing it, and there's only so much money what guys are willing to pay for it, and now that you got all these AI models, if you will, come out there, the AI is going to destroy OnlyFans. That's the funny part. All these girls are going to be out of business because they're going to have these nerds doing these AI programs of these, like, amazingly looking, real-looking women out there, and all these girls are going to be out of business. And they'll have all these videos and stuff out there, and then they're going to be begging guys to take them in and crying the guys won't get with them. But anyhow, those will be stories for another day, which we will have a great time roasting, and I certainly will. So, have a good Friday.
And I want to talk about 5 rules. Hello, Big Cow. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, I want to talk to you about Minamoto Musashi, the great Japanese swordsman. And I want to talk about 5 rules to fix a broken life from the point of view of Minamoto Musashi. If your life is broken, you're not alone. But the way forward won't come from comfort, pity, or motivation videos. It will come from something far older and far sharper. Over 400 years ago, a lone swordsman walked the path of war, silence, and self-mastery. His name, Minamoto Musashi. He fought over 60 duels, undefeated, but what he truly mastered was not the sword, it was life. Today, we'll explore 5 clear rules Musashi might give to fix a broken life. These are not gentle. They are forged in blood, solitude, and iron discipline. Number 1, cut attachments with the blade of discipline. Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. That's what Musashi wrote in the Book of 5 Rings. To him, attachment was weakness. A warrior burdened by emotion dies in battle. Likewise, a person clinging to the past stays broken. Are you still mourning what you lost? Still wanting for somebody to apologize? Still addicted to distraction, dopamine, or validation? Musashi's rule is this: cut it. With the same discipline you'd use to sharpen a sword, you do not wait to feel better. You act as if you already are. You move without emotion. Rule number 2, strike without hesitation. Musashi believed that hesitation kills, in combat and in life. Most people drown in the question, what should I do? But warriors move. They strike. They adapt later. Is your life stuck? That means you're not acting. You're overthinking. Musashi's fix: make movement your master. Train. Start the business. Quit the poison. Say the hard things. When Musashi was 13, he killed a grown man in a duel, not because he was stronger, but because he struck first. Rule number 3, train as if battle is constant. Musashi never settled. Even after becoming Japan's greatest swordsman, he continued to train with sword, staff, art, calligraphy. To him, mastery was a war without end. A broken life is often a lazy life, not just physically, but spiritually and mentally too. Are you sharpening yourself daily, or are you rusting in your comfort? Musashi's solution? Treat every day like a battlefield. Train your body with discipline. Train your mind with silence. Train your spirit by doing what you fear. He once said, you can only fight the way you practice. So how are you practicing life? Number 4, walk alone until you're whole. Musashi was a ronin, masterless warrior. He lived alone by choice, because sometimes solitude is the forge where strength is made. If your life is broken, stop seeking rescue. Stop expecting others to understand, fix, or carry you. Solitude is not punishment, it's purification. Can you sit alone in a room with your mind and not flinch? That's Musashi's test. Until you can, you are not ready for love, leadership, or even peace. Walk alone, not forever, but long enough to face the enemy within. Number 5, die with your sword in your hand. Musashi didn't fear death, he feared purposelessness. That's why he trained even when dying, writing his final work just days before his death. His final rule, live every day as if death is watching, because it is. To fix a broken life, you must live as if your sword is always in your hand, your purpose always close. Find your code, live it. Let everything else fall away. Are you living to pass the time, or to carve your name into it? Are you living to pass the time, or to carve your name into it? Musashi's path was not for everyone. It was lonely, painful, and fierce. But if you've lost yourself, it might be exactly the path you need. The world is loud. Musashi teaches silence. The world teaches hunger. He teaches fire. So if you're broken, pick up your sword, not to fight others, but to cut away what you no longer need. Then walk forward with clarity, purpose, and no fear of death. Fixing your life isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before the world ended you. If this speaks to you, walk with us. Subscribe, train, and remember, the way is in the training.
Alright, y'all, here's a question. Why men don't approach women anymore? Glad you asked. Let's get into it, family. Happy Saturday, everybody. Number 1, the fear of rejection. Women today, as we know, have some unrealistic standards. Some women. Plus, he has a six-pack, six-figure, and is 6 feet. You can't talk to him. Number 2, it's not just about the fear of rejection. For some men, it's the fear of being labeled a creep or a predator because the man that's approaching you isn't your type. So because he's interested in you, he agrees? Come on now. Number 3, online dating, which has made it so men don't have to get rejected in person. Number 4, social media. Now you can just run up in somebody's DM. You don't have to have communication skills. I think all this technology and everything has made our communication skills terrible, y'all. Terrible. And last, we've seen how women will reject men in unnecessarily rude ways. It's okay to not be to try to embarrass them. Y'all, we gotta stop.
I got called creepy for walking down a hall. I wasn't even interested.
A lot of guys, because I spoke out against it, and a lot of guys reached out to me that are very famous that had everything taken away from them. Everything. And I'm like, women should serve jail time when they lied, and it comes out that it is proven that they lied. Because I don't know if you know about Danny Masterson, who was on that 70s show.
They should be executed. And the reason I say that is these are individuals who have successfully weaponized law enforcement to be their violent gang enforcers, to beat, most often, the man into physical submission. They use the courts to beat him into financial and penitentiary submission, meaning being sentenced to prison and paying quote-unquote restitution. This is most often a woman who has harassed his employer, causing him to lose his job prior to any kind of sentencing or incarceration. This is a woman who has weaponized that employer so that he can never go back there. This is a woman who has weaponized the media against him, who has smeared his name as they provide cover and shade for her, never looking into her past of having, whether or not she's done this previously, has a pattern of making false allegations. So we've got law enforcement that's complicit. We've got the courts that are complicit. We have the job that's complicit. We have the media that's complicit. Let's talk about the church. The church will turn their back 100% on somebody on a false allegation. They're now complicit and definitely not deserving of any kind of tax-exempt status. In fact, if there was a God, it would strike that church and its congregation with the biggest lightning bolt ever seen on earth for their sin of pride and arrogance. So there's the church. Then there's the community, because any man who's dealt with any kind of harassment from a woman already knows that it's going to be the community turning against him. Both, the job that he lost, no one's going to hire him, and nobody's going to want his business. Nobody's going to want him as a neighbor. Nobody's going to want to interact with him. He's a pariah. And the whole point of doing that is they are actively trying to end that man by starving him of resources, from money to food to employment to home, to housing. And then finally, the family. Angela Yurimova deprived Daniel Pearson's children of their father for over a month. What kind of evil monster kidnaps a child's father, and in this case, two children's father, for a month? It's rhetorical. I already gave you the answer. It's a monster. It's not a she. It's not a woman. It's not even a human being. It is a monster. Angela Yurimova and the sentencing judge Stephen Core are monsters, and they have no validity to existence.
Oh, he's in jail, isn't he?
He got a sentence that's worse than murder.
Wow.
Because his ex-girlfriend, well, I don't know shit, but I've met him many times. He was always lovely. Never creepy, never had a bad experience. But I'm there's something weird to me about the fact that, and same with the Trump case with that Eugene Carroll, who's a fucking hideous feminist that no one would want to fuck. It's so crazy how all my friends who are literal supermodels somehow aren't being shoved in the woods and raped, but somehow the ugliest women to ever exist are all perfectly.
I'm I don't think they want it that bad.
No, and that's why they don't fucking lie.
We have a charge for that already. It's called perjury, but we know that most women will never be charged for lying in any way, shape, or form.
Wait, Brian, did you just say that you don't like challenges?
Yeah, when it comes to dating, no, I don't.
Okay, I think you're just self-admitting and not being an alpha, because that's what makes some relationships more exciting and for the guys to keep pursuing, because if it was safe and stable, it kind of gets boring.
No.
That's how girls...
Okay, first off, we're talking about dating. I absolutely engage in challenging things when it comes to my business, when it comes to all that. I'm not shying away from challenge. When it comes to dating, again, Proverbs 21:19, better to live in a desert than with a quarrelsome and nagging wife. I don't want my partner to be a challenge. I don't want to date a fence-sitter chick. I don't want to date a girl who's playing hard to get, because if you play hard to get, you quickly become hard to want.
Why do women honestly believe that dating them should be as annoying as possible?
These are 5 Karens who ruined wedding moments. Karen-in-law goes ballistic over the bride's vows.
You know what they like that is law.
We can
You're not going to ruin my
Wow. Karen ruins a wedding ceremony.
Anybody can come.
Keep walking.
Karen tries to ruin a wedding proposal and calls the cops.
But your dogs are in our property, so once the cops come, if they tell us to leave, we will leave.
Neighbor leaves her lawnmower running during a wedding celebration.
And the neighbor
is just literally...
Hair ruins a perfect wedding photo shoot.
Jealousy is one hell of a disease. America is full of bitter women.
So women are not forced to conform to what men want because we'll get the attention anyway. And there's evidence that suggests that 50% of women are never going to have kids or get married. And then you take the women that do get married, 50% of them will divorce.
And that's by 2030, so it's not even that far away. So, like, if we take this room, for example, how many girls are there in this room? 2, 4, 6, 7. At least, let's make it nicer than it is. At least 3 of us will never get married and never have kids. And that's a...
Yeah, that's if the world doesn't go tits up before 2030. There's so much crazy shit happening, I'm expecting the world as we know it to end.
Because I always talk about the demonization of, women who choose to stay at home, the demonization of housewives, the demonization of women who make a different choice than what is considered the acceptable choice of the modern feminist movement. And not every woman is going to want to be that CEO or enter the workforce. Some of them want to devote themselves to being a wife and being a mom. Why do we have to disparage them because they're making a different choice than what a lot of women make in this day and age? Why? Why can't we just fight that reflex? Because we all have it, right? I mean, Rollo Tomassi says we're all kind of raised in the feminist age, and hence we kind of have a little bit of that lens. I believe that he's right on that in many respects, because I even have to check myself sometimes, because it's almost like you're programmed to react a certain way, and it just starts coming out of your mouth, and you're like, wait, no, that doesn't make any sense. You really have to kind of deprogram all of that stuff and look at stuff for what it actually is.
I see them talk down to housewives in comment sections on a regular basis.
Modern woman and a lot of the feminist indoctrination, brainwashing, and American women with these massive insecurity things. She's just saying well, I don't want men to be a leader. That's basically what she's saying. She's like, I don't want men to be the leader. I don't women could be leader too. Not even women can be leaders too, but she's saying women could be better leaders in certain situations.
Do rich men get with women who are not wealthy? I hate to say broke, but women
You can say broke. You hate to say broke because women don't self-identify as broke. No. Let's just start right there. You didn't want to say it because I'm telling you why. Subconsciously, women don't identify themselves as being broke. They say that dude's broke
what it is.
because he can't take you where you can't afford to take yourself.
Broke is a mentality to me, and that's why.
All right, your mentality and your bank account is broke.
Okay,
Broke is a boat.
but what I'm saying broke is a boat.
Yeah, come on. Broke is a mentality. She's trying to play word games.
I'm not playing word games. You want to come in hot,
No, because we're going to tell the truth all the time. Women do not self-identify as broke. They could be got in the club free, 3 dudes and bought them a drink. They roll with their homegirl and they live with their auntie. And in between jobs and still won't identify themselves as broke.
This woman will never understand men. I saw a woman once decline to talk to a guy because he was on public transport that she was also using.
Somebody told me that we're no longer using dating apps. We're going to Trader Joe's, Home Depot to find our husband, and that's what we're going to do today. Okay, so this is the fit. I thought it was casual, cute, but still kind of girly. All right, here we go. This is what my life has come to. So it was kind of a bust.
Oh no! Are you okay?
I got approached by a girl, and she said, oh my god, you're so pretty, can you take my surname? So, I mean, win, but on to the next place. So I'm kind of over it. So I got in and out instead, and I don't know, I just want to go home.
Well, this is funny. She went to Home Depot to find a husband. Instead, she got approached by a female. After trying for a bit, she gave up and went and got food. Father Time said it's not your time. Time's up.
Why can't women take the lead and show their interest more proactively? Well, it's because women are terrified of rejection as well. We're scared, so it's also tough for us to take the lead in the hopes that the guy who has never shown a lot of sexual interest feels similarly.
Don't we want to be husbands anymore?
No.
Or did you decide against it?
Let me try and explain what's happening.
They're being friend-zoned, and they're seeing their buddies lose everything in divorce, including their kids. They don't feel like we want them anymore because we're too busy entertaining the F-boys and the douchebags. Because we've been told that exciting sex is what makes a relationship great. And our throwaway culture makes us run away from conflict. So yeah, they're giving up too.
It is very, very common to dream about an ex, to think about an ex.
Even if they're in a happy relationship?
Hold up.
Wow. If you're offended that your partner still thinks about other past lovers or potential lovers, it's going to be a long life. Relationships are a choice. I fundamentally believe that. And the idea that you're not going to be attracted to other people because you have one spouse or one mate is highly unrealistic.
If women don't want blue-collar men, what in the hell do they think they're more than likely going to find at Home Depot? Pure idiocy. It's only a matter of time before they start wearing their gym clothes in Home Depot and complain about the creeps staring at them. Thanks for watching Sigma Traits. As always, we're looking forward to your support. So please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Memes of the Week. The best thing you can do for this channel is beat the like button like it owes you money before watching this, so it reaches a wider audience. Also, before I get on with the memes, first a word from today's sponsor, the MGTOW Book Club. Now on with the memes. Number one, what would you do if your girl went to a party wearing this? Would you accept this and just tell yourself that it's just another girl's night out? In my opinion, if she gets dressed like that, she's not your girl. It's just your turn, and she's community property. What you do also depends on if you're at that party or not as well. Looks like this so-called party is happening in a hotel. Looks like the girl on the right is also overdressed. Moving on, a labor market study found that women are 35% more likely to get hired for a job when submitting a job application. And the people doing the study wonder why women are more likely to get hired. Maybe someone should inform them about DEI. Also, HR tends to be women-dominated, and women hire other women. It's all about discrimination, but the so-called real reason, of course, that feminists will use is that it's male privilege. They just won't explain why it is. Number three, if you went out to buy bread and you saw her, would you shoplift so she would arrest you and woman handle you? I didn't do nothing, mommy. I'm the ossifer. If you steal some sandwich meat too, then she might default to factory settings and make you a sandwich. Her body definitely says yes, but her mask says I'm retarded. Then again, she could be one of those women that are the quiet type and don't talk too much. One can only hope. Up next is a royal flush, as this German princess is the first aristocrat to appear with nothing on in Playboy. And she says her great-great-grandfather, the last king of Saxony, would have approved. Looks like even princesses are getting desperate for attention these days. This just proves that women's need for attention and validation is stronger than an addiction to heroin. She looks 40 plus and no one cares if she's a princess or not. Only women care if the man is a prince. Number five, any woman that's interested in you is really an agent for the state. Once you fall in love with her, have a family, your fate as a working cog wage gets solidified. Your testosterone drops and you become domesticated into a tech serf. And the mechanism for your slavery is your own mind pumping happy hormones that drop your intelligence and you stop questioning the world around you. The average blue pill man in a relationship is a slave. Moving on, Virginia Guffrey, one of the Jeffrey Epstein victims, ended herself even though she told everyone she wasn't suicidal. Hillary says of course she wasn't. At this point it's all a joke. Everyone knows the elites are child diddlers and no one is going to do anything about it. Looks like the memes about Hillary Clinton placing an order to the suicide hotline were true. She was recruited in Mar-a-Lago. No wonder Trump refuses to release the files. Number 7, have you seen pictures of the new Predator? The resemblance to Michelle Obama is uncanny. The aliens don't stand a chance. Just one look at that thing, and they'll die from just looking at how bad it is. But seriously, I didn't know you could buy film props like masks on Temu. Hollywood doesn't seem content destroying franchises anymore. They seem to want to beat them like a dead horse over and over again. Off next, a Brazilian woman cooks her husband's penis in a frying pan after ending him. She was probably saying to herself that white people don't season their penises, so she thought that she would make it tasty. She says that it was all done in self-defense after they argued about splitting up. If I ever get my penis cut off by a woman, it better be by a 9 or a 10, and not a 3 or a 4. He was probably going to leave her, and this is the best that she can get. Number 9, you just know that female robots and androids are going to wreck women. This one asks if a doll can cook your meals, carry your kids, and wash your clothes. Someone gets back to her and says that suddenly, because of the threat of love dolls, women believe that it's their duty to cook, wash, and take care of the house. It takes me half an hour to do my food each day and 20 minutes a week to do the laundry. I bring a maid in to dust and vacuum every other month. Women have already been replaced. Artificial boobs will just take all the women's power away. Moving on, this woman says that soy cyanide lied to women, telling them they could spend their 20s getting drunk and having one-night stands, and then demand a 666 man in their 30s. I like how they say it's soy cyanide lying to them so they don't have to take responsibility for their terrible choices. Soy cyanide doesn't lie to women. Other women and feminists lie to women that they can have it all, and in the end, all they get are cats. Number 11, this drunk dental receptionist groped a 13-year-old boy and told him that she was going to ride him until the morning, and she's been spared jail. A man would have gone away for at least a couple of years doing this. This is what you call female predator privilege. Before a couple of years ago, I only ever heard of one female pedo, and she was doing it back in the 1950s. Now they seem to be everywhere. Why are women suddenly attracted to boys in their early teens? Up next, if you haven't been to Canada for a while, you'll be surprised that it's basically turned into G-land. This is what I saw going to Canada's Wonderland last summer for the first time in 20 years. The crazy thing is that even the Jeets voted against the Liberal government, and it was the women and the boomers that voted to keep the globalist government of Trudeau in power. I now hope that Alberta leaves Canada and the country falls apart and joins America. Number 13, the American mind can't comprehend this. The two guys are having a smoke and a drink outside on the street and ignoring the hot woman behind them. Or is it incomprehensible that these streets are actually walkable? Plus everyone looks thin. Here I fixed the image that the American mind can relate to these people. The European mind also can't comprehend the American strip mall and suburbia nightmare. And they can't understand why we did this on purpose. Moving on, you no longer only have to worry about migrants assaulting you in public, because this gang of white women attacked an elderly man and women in separate incidents in British transport. This probably won't even be reported all that much by the mainstream media. Can't make women look bad now, can we? This is what happens when the women in your country have more testosterone than the men. Also, did they remove jail sentences for women in the UK recently? They'll somehow blame this on men too. Number 15, here's the difference between the future you imagine as a kid for 2025 and here's the woke future you get. To be honest, I never dreamed of that future at the top as a child. I always dreamed about leaving the planet and traveling the galaxy, meeting alien species. I never imagined that the woke mind virus would make the Borg look like a better alternative for humanity than what we're currently living through. I am, however, pleasantly surprised and pleased by the internet and smartphones. Up next, when a woman calls you a sex addict because it's been 3 weeks and you want it again, what she's really telling you is that she's having it with somebody else. Probably someone like her work husband. Who do you think this woman is even bleaching her hair for? Remember that if you're not getting it at least 2 or 3 times a week, then she's not that into you. I don't know about you, but when the sex is over, so is the relationship. Number 17, by the time you're 67, you will have paid over $600,000 in Social Security to your government pension plan. That money would be worth millions if you invested it yourself, but the government only gives you $37,000 a year, which if you live off of for 20 years, your retirement is just over $700,000. It's theft, but someone has to pay the government bureaucrats and bankers that loan money to the government. The worst part is that we're forced to pay it. As a self-employed person, I have to pay both the employee and employer portion, which runs me just around $10,000 a year. Moving on, in China, the term nowhere girls refers to women with no money, no job, no education, no looks, and no friends. By no looks, they probably mean they're old leftover women in many cases. The Chinese go real hard on useless post-war women. In East Asia, there really are women who are femcells because the local men don't want to marry them after a certain point. East Asian men are based and have enough self-respect not to marry a woman that's been riding the dim sum carousel. Many of these women become prostitutes, or they chase and marry Western men. Number 19, people always wonder why vampires are always wealthy in movies, and how they make a living. Someone says that if you've been alive since 1892, and are still broke, just step into the sunlight. But seriously, They probably figured out how compound interest works a century ago. Also, you save a lot of money because you don't have to spend money on groceries and a bed because you sleep in a coffin. Plus, vampires probably make their money the way that the fossils in Congress also make their money. Off next looks like they found me. 10 years ago, someone took a picture of me and everyone thought that I looked like one of these trailer park boys. They wouldn't recognize me today because I lost 25 pounds of fat, put more muscle on, and cut my hair short. Yeah, I no longer look like the guy on the left anymore. If that was the left's best argument against me, that I look like one of the trailer park boys, then that shows you they have nothing. Number 21, the fastest way to trigger Western women is to tell them that you want to marry a virgin. Yes, but why does that line work every time? Probably because in 2025, that means you'd have to go for a 12-year-old. Or that they want to be with you, they just don't qualify. Women often say that body count doesn't matter. But when you tell them it does, they lose their minds. Another way to trigger them is to tell them that you'll only marry a thin woman. Or one line that always triggers them the most is, I'll never get married. They hate MGTOW more than anything. Moving on, a new study finds nothing more threatening than an entire blonde family. Who made this study? 4 non-blondes, perhaps? Or maybe someone in a boxcar in Germany back in the 1940s. If people find blonde people so scary, then why do they want to live by them and sleep with them? Given the current stage of enrichment that we're in, this study would be more likely to find nothing more endangered than an entirely blonde family. Number 23, remember everyone that the problem isn't who spends 4 to 8 months in the White House, but who spends 30 to 40 years in Congress. Many of them even spend 50 plus years in the government. We need term limits, or more than just the presidents. Career politicians need to be banned in all countries. The problem, of course, is the career politicians will never vote in favor of such legislation. Up next, here's a case of true love. This man woke up with a headache only to discover his wife shot him while he was sleeping. He pulled through and hopefully his wife is now in jail. But seriously, some people can just sleep through anything. But I think this story is fake because that looks like a rifle round and those don't stop in the middle. But this isn't the actual x-ray and they could just been made up for the story. And in the end, he probably still had to give her half. Number 25 and the last one may be the reason Hooters is bankrupt because of stupid publicity stunts like this one. Looks like they began the programming early with this one, and she probably can't wait to get some curves to start the pimping out process. That kid's parents need to be paid a visit by CPS. I'm all for the feminist argument that women are not objects, but this isn't exactly helping their case. Plot twist, that's actually a boy in the Hooters outfit. So that's it for another Memes of the Week. Please give this video a like to push it up in the algorithm, and so new viewers can find it. If you enjoyed this series and want me to keep making it, then donate at the PayPal subscribe star links below. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.
I kind of feel like the dam might break open on the Epstein files because of some of the weird things that are starting to come out. Well, let's start here. Elon Musk says that Donald Trump is in the unreleased Epstein files, and that's why they're not getting released. The implication, of course, is that Trump has done something untoward, perhaps engaging in disgusting activities with underage girls. That's the implication, I guess. Now, on the Trump side, they're saying, yeah, right, if that existed, Democrats would have released that a long time ago. And I agree, yeah. Except that maybe it implicates some Democrats as well. I mean, Donald Trump used to hang out with some of these people. Maybe. I honestly don't know. But as all this stuff starts going down, and Elon Musk makes these claims, one does have to wonder why the Trump DOJ is saying Epstein took his own life, and why they're not putting anything out. We heard recently from Pam Bondi. She said there are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children. Why did she come out and say that? As it turns out, James O'Keefe had a source who just so happened to hear this woman, Pam Bondi, talking to another woman, saying all of this. O'Keefe, great journalist, by the way, reached out for comment, as he should have, saying, we have you on the record saying this thing. Pam then comes out and says, publicly, yes, we have these videos. Now I'm going to give you the weirdest thing of all. The first thing I want to do is, I want to pull up the Wikipedia page for Peter Schiff. Let's just pull up Peter Schiff here. Peter Schiff, nicknamed Dr. Doom, is an American stockbroker, co-founded Echelon Wealth Partners, involved in other financial services, etc., etc. He was born to a middle-class Jewish family in New Haven, Connecticut, World War II, yada, yada, yada. Did he do anything politically? The Ron Paul presidential campaign? Okay, I like that. I don't think he's a big fan of Bitcoin, so this guy, he's pretty prominent. Well, he's got some tweets for you. What does he say here? While Wall Street celebrates the 139,000 jobs supposedly created in May while ignoring 95K in downward revisions to March and April, traders are overlooking what? I don't care about that. Come on, Peter. You got to say something a bit more shocking than this, I guess. If gold is good, why are you selling it? I honestly have no idea. What's this? Oh, here's a tweet. He said, FYI, pedophiles are attracted to prepubescent girls and boys. He says he's not defending Epstein, but he's saying Epstein was with girls 14 to 17 that had developed sexually. Therefore, Peter Schiff is saying he's not a diddler? A pedo? Peter, just, I get the point you're trying to make, but you're wrong. Pam Bondi said there's videos with children. So yeah, there's probably... Oh, wow. We got an awesome sponsor on today's show. You got the IQ Mini oven, and you got these little Bluetooth thermometers. This is legit. This is the coolest thing. I didn't know this was possible. Check this out. IQ Sense. It's a wireless meat thermometer you stick in your meat. So you go to chefiq.com. Use promo code TIM. And so one of the challenges is constantly going and you're checking the grill. We have one of those big green eggs. They're awesome, by the way. We put the food in it, we open it up, and then like I'm constantly checking it, opening things up and down. With these, I got these things right here, this IQ Sense little wireless thermometers. You stick them in the meat, download the app. The app, you program it for what you're cooking, and it will tell you when it's done. That is absolutely amazing. Chef IQ Sense, it's brilliantly simple. The cooking sensor goes into whatever you're making, kind of like a meat thermometer, but it's wireless and way smarter. It continually monitors and predicts precisely when your food will be done. So you can kick back, you got people hanging out, doing whatever it is you need to do, and this will send an alert. The Chef IQ Sense will send an alert to your phone when your steak, chicken, seafood, or whatever are cooked to order just the way you like it. You set the temperature. That's super cool. The best part is they got a big sale going on, so get on this. Summer grilling season is here, and Chef IQ Sense makes you a grill master. I gotta be completely honest. We're getting like a stone oven, like a brick oven thing built. I'm so excited for this. This is super cool. So go to chefiq.com. Use promo code TIM. Once again, chefiq.com, promo code TIM. Look at this. This is really cool. I'm super excited for this one. I love grilling. That's why. Someone said, you're such an effing creep, dude. Knowing this girl is 17, I am immediately unattracted to her. Your defense of the subject here in public is hugely concerning. Okay, what's he talking about? So, okay. Here's a big thread. This is wild. Peter Schiff responded to Cat Turd said, Mike, I love you. The Elon called Trump a pedo. That's literally not coming back from that ever. Peter Schiff then said, actually, pedos are attracted to children, and what? And so, Diligent Citizen said that's literally the definition. Pedos are people who are sexually attracted to children, to which Peter Schiff once again tries defending prepubescent. What? Why is... Wait, it gets worse. Grok says, legally anyone under 18 is considered a child in the U.S., so Epstein's victims, aged 11 to 17, were children. Yeah. Clinically, pedophilia involves attraction with prepubescent children under 13. And since many of his victims are teenagers, what is Grok trying to say? I'm gonna pause you right there, Grok, and say Epstein was a pedo. And Pam Bondi said they have videos of him with children, and you even mentioned Grok, 11 years old. So here's Peter Schiff saying, ask Grok if there was any evidence that any of the women who had Epstein had sex with were prepubescent. Women? You mean underage girls? The answer is yes, so far. It's circumstantial, but Pam Bondi said on camera, in private, well, she was in public speaking, but not intending for it to go to the public. She said, children. Here's the best part. So Blank Check says, why would you start the most deranged argument in a public forum without being totally educated on the subject? Your judgment here is in question. Peter Schiff then posts this image. He says, this is actress Linda Darnell, age 17. Do you find her sexually attractive? If so, then I guess you're a pedo too. No, sir. Listen, Jeffrey Epstein was raping children. At least that's what Pam Bondi said on camera. Some of them may have been children who were like 15. Yeah, 15-year-old's a child. But also, some of them were younger than that. So yeah, in fact, James O'Keefe actually got inside video from one of the buildings on Epstein Island, for which there is a picture on a wall of a baby holding some kind of strange object. I'm not going to speculate as to what it is, but I think a lot of people are. Because Jeffrey Epstein was a pedo. Now he says, look at this young woman. Listen, sir, I think it's fair to say a couple things here. Did y'all know that when you see models at the mall, like you go to the mall, there's a clothing store, and they have these women that are like in bikinis, like, you know, they're like 15 years old? Yeah, that's pretty messed up. I certainly think it is messed up. But the fashion industry doesn't care. They want 17-year-old youth and exuberance because men are attracted to developed young women. But attraction is more than just that. And this is in the data, in the science. When men are presented with an image of what appears to be an adult woman, they say, yes, she is attractive. When they are then informed the woman is in fact 17, they say, not interested. In fact, when they are told the woman is 18 or 19 or even 20, men's interest decreases. See, this is crazy because I suppose what Peter Schiff is exposing in himself, and for many other liberal types, not saying he's a liberal, I don't know, they actually like kids. And it makes sense why they align the way they do politically. And conservatives are likely more to fall into the average of, they don't. So the scientific research shows that when men are presented images of females, they tend to skew towards late teenagers in terms of maximum attractiveness. Around 16, 17, 18, actually, so mid-teens is actually kind of creepy. However, immediately upon informing the men of the age of these women, attraction drops dramatically. The reason is not that men are scared of a social stigma. They've actually done the research on this. Age, maturity, and capability are evolutionarily ingrained in men, similarly to women. That is, younger, underage women are unattractive to men in the big picture because their likelihood of survival is low. Men tend to want 22-year-old women. That's what the data shows. Women tend to want men who are their own age or older. Men want women who are around maybe their age or younger. What I think we see with liberals is they disregard that component. So I get the point you're trying to make, Peter Schiff, but no, we still hold strict condemnation and disdain for people who would be attracted to a 17-year-old. The point is this. I think someone actually responded that saying, you're an effing creep. Knowing this girl is 17, I'm immediately unattracted to her. Your defense of the subject here in public, well, this is hugely concerning. Yes. The argument is, this woman's age varies. And men look at her and say, she appears to be an adult woman. Someone then, and it's like, wow, yeah, she looks great. Look at that. And then someone goes, actually, she's underage. And they go, ooh, not interested. And that's a real unattraction. It is not that men are attracted to women and then they pretend to not be because they're underage. The reason why the age was set to 18 was because of this visceral experience. It's really interesting when you look at the data, actually. It is kind of creepy that men will view, even downwards of 14 years old. That's messed up. When they do these models, they get younger, and they don't tell men they're younger. But there are many women who are 22 who could look very young, and men aren't interested in being with these ultra young women. That's why we make it criminal. It is men that have made these laws over a long period of time. Then women started voting, agreed with these laws. The 18-year age restriction for minority to majority wasn't arbitrary. It was part of that visceral experience. Dude, why are you... He says, you are just lying to be politically correct. Knowing your age has nothing to do with being attracted to her. How many men unknowingly have sex with underage girls? And some underage girls get fake IDs and hang under bars. Indeed, sir. Because they're defrauding men. I suppose I get the point he's saying. If a young woman is fully sexually developed, guys will be attracted to her. However, upon realizing that they're young, men lose that. The criticism specifically is whether they're, and he brings up, okay, let me put it this way. Why are you defending Jeffrey Epstein at all? The dude was accused of being with 11-year-olds. And additionally, we don't need to actually play this game of, oh, wow, oh, she looked great, but then I found, no, you just literally say, yeah, modeling agencies do this, we understand. Epstein was a pedophile accused of being with minors. You have no reason to defend him or go on these long-winded threats trying to justify that he actually wasn't by some technicality. Now we just say, dude, don't be with people who are underage. That's it. There you go. Well, we're going to call you a pedo because they're children. They're legally children. They are legally children. It's weird. I'm going to say this on top. I'm just going to say it. Brother, Peter, I actually do think it's gross that you or anyone else would claim to be attracted to a 17-year-old like this. I got to be honest. My tastes are a little bit different than that. My wife is only a couple of years younger than me. We work together. We have the same interests. We grew up in the same areas. That's just me, and I actually think there may be a correlation between people who lean right on family values and their wives tending to be around their age. But look, I get it. Dudes can be gross. That's why Epstein's a bad dude. But men also can be good. That's why they made it illegal. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up there. What a weird... I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks for hanging out, I guess. What? That's why I think the dab's going to break, because why else would dude be desperately trying to defend Epstein? Whatever. I'll see you on the next segment.
The weekend is upon us, and apparently I'm going off the deep end, so let's take a break from petroglyphs and the squatterman, and today, instead, turn the spotlight on NASA's Mars images. Could they be faked and actually recorded here on Earth at the largest uninhabited island on this planet? Maybe. But then again, maybe not. Devon Island, located in the Canadian Arctic archipelago, this is the largest uninhabited island on Earth, spanning over 55,000 square kilometres. This is an austere, barren landscape of rocky, wind-scoured terrain, permafrost, and ancient impact craters. Often described as Mars on Earth, Devon Island has long attracted the attention of scientists. However, this stark environment has also become the centre of a growing conspiracy theory that NASA has faked footage of the Martian surface and filmed it on Devon Island. The appeal of Devon Island lies in its striking similarities to the planet Mars. The Hopton impact crater on this island is remarkably preserved due to the cold and dry conditions, and it's this environment that makes it a valuable analogue site for simulating Mars missions. Since the late 1990s, NASA, along with the Mars Society and other institutions, has conducted numerous field experiments on Devon Island through the Hopton Mars Project, HMP. These simulations include testing robotic rovers, conducting geological surveys, and practicing astronaut protocols, all aimed at preparing for future human missions to the Red Planet. Photographs from these expeditions show a reddish, desolate terrain, eerily reminiscent of images apparently beamed back from the planet Mars from rovers such as the Curiosity and the Perseverance rover. This visual overlap, combined with the island's isolation, has fueled online speculation that NASA might be using Devon Island to stage its Mars footage. Side-by-side comparisons of Mars rover images and photographs from Devon Island do show a resemblance. Rocky plains, reddish hues, and similar topography. Skeptics argue that NASA could easily alter colour filters and lighting to simulate the Martian atmosphere. And get this, in the early Mars rover images, viewers claimed to spot what appeared to be small animals, like rats, equipment parts, or even background anomalies. Devon Island is remote and heavily restricted in terms of access. Only approved researchers and government-linked personnel can visit this island. This isolation makes Devon Island an ideal site for covert filming operations. All images from Mars rovers are processed and released by NASA, and this has led some to claim that the agency could manipulate or manufacture the photographs. The theory suggests that if Mars is unreachable or uninhabitable, NASA could have staged convincing simulations to maintain funding and to maintain public interest. And it should be noted that most of the data returned from the planet Mars includes not only the images, but also seismic readings, atmospheric data, and chemical analysis that would be extremely difficult to fake in a consistent and scientifically valid manner. Over the years, amateur astronomers and independent researchers have been able to confirm Mars missions' trajectories and telemetry data, verifying their authenticity. The Houghton Mars Project itself is a transparent, published research initiative with extensive documentation available to the public. But Devon Island is undeniably one of Earth's most Mars-like environments. But its remote location, visual similarity to Mars, and controlled access have also made it fertile ground for conspiracy theories. What do you guys think about this? Is Devon Island a stage for deception, or is it a vital stepping stone in humanity's quest to reach for the stars? Comments below, and as always guys, thank you for watching.
Now I want you to imagine the Bad Boys theme playing right now. I can't play it because they regularly claim it, but just imagine it in your head. You all know what's going on. You know the song. Let me give you like 2 seconds. Maybe they won't claim that. All right, that's all I can play. This week on Who I Want Arrested, it's a biological man who was going in Disney World bathrooms, women's bathrooms, taking photos of the women, and also, in my opinion, getting off on making these women uncomfortable. Now, as far as I know, this is in Florida, so I don't know what the bathroom laws are there, but a biological man going into the woman's room might already be illegal, given they seem pretty based about stuff. But also, they were taking pictures, which I know is illegal. You can't be taking pictures of people in the bathroom. And we need some brave women who were in that bathroom that day to take action. Leave a like on this video right now if you want this individual arrested. We're going to look at their video. We're going to look at the news coverage of it too. Don't forget your Father's Day gift box or just general coffee brand coffee gift box. There's only a few left. I will not ever restock them on Amazon. It's our blueberry cobbler, our Colombian roast, honey sticks, yogurt covered pretzels, chocolate covered espresso beans, and a K-Cup adapter. Father's Day is next weekend. Or if you just like our product, or you just like to pick it up, link will be in the pinned comment down below. Trans influencer filming in the woman's room at Disney World is everything that's wrong with the selfish movement. If you're not perpetually online, perhaps you've never heard of biological male Lily Tino Contino. Lucky you. Unfortunately, if you're a waiter just trying to do your job, or a woman at Disney World restroom just trying to do your business, look out. Consider this your on creep alert. Since 2022, Contino's 400,000 TikTok followers have witnessed his journey from hirstute man, oh, I guess I need to increase my vocabulary, to linebacker dressed as 50s pinup gal, all while terrorizing unsuspecting waitstaff for misgendering. Yes, there are curls, Q-pie lips, I don't know what that is, facial feminization surgery, well, it didn't work,
also chronicled, and crop tops. But when Contino speaks, the influencer's voice is lower than his regard for the hospitality workers touted in his content. Contino, who claims to be a trans girl on a mission, has even more disturbing and narcissistic social media project, lurking in women's bathrooms at Disney theme parks, taking pictures and rating the experience depending on whether or not he was misgendered or complimented on his outfit. I'm going to talk more about why I believe that this is not about acceptance, because I'm going to share the video with you and I'm going to make my case for why this individual is getting a bedroom thrill from making these women uncomfortable. Because it is my belief that's what this is. It's my belief that's what this is. Essentially, did the woman affirm his identity? Tiffin's Restaurant, 2 out of 10. Got misgendered right before this pic, so the vibe was off. Bro, maybe all the women in there trying to, have a moment of privacy at their most, vulnerable, don't want some biological man standing next to him. And by the way, peeing standing up. And that's where everything breaks down for me. The fact that this biological man makes a point to pee standing up tells you everything you need to know. They want that woman in the stall next to them to know a man is standing in the stall and peeing. They get off on it. Meanwhile, many of the photos show women in the background, sometimes with emojis over their faces, but not always. One TikTok post starts with an image of Contino in a Minnie Mouse ears and a hair bow meant to be for a 5-year-old. Taking a selfie that shows 3 women in the background, the caption, ranking every woman's bathroom at Disney World. Now, by the way, if you take a picture out in public, there's nothing wrong with that. When you do, and you do it in the bathroom, that's a crime. It's a Venn diagram of the worst the internet has to offer. Infantilized Disney adults and performative trans content rolled into one. Got misgendered right before this pic, so the vibe was off. In another video, Contino delivers a preamble about using women's restrooms in Florida as a trans person. 3 minutes later, the influencer gives a blow-by-blow commentary, including excruciatingly unnecessary detail about how he peed standing up. Now, I'm telling you, this is a power move, okay? The reason he is peeing standing up is to make women in the restroom next to him feel uncomfortable and scared. Leave a like on the video if you agree. I agree. In another photo, with women visible in the background, Contino's wearing Minnie Mouse ears decorated with the trans flag and flashing a peace sign. Got complimented on my fit. So there's no line in the stall, reads the caption. Adults should not say fit, they should not say crash out. Alright? Another says, had a friend with me, so I felt safe. You're a biological man in a biological woman's bathroom. Every other woman in there doesn't feel safe. The inverted victimhood is this influencer's entire shtick. Contino is the one who is unsafe. You see, while poking others, not for security or freedom, but for content and clicks, it's all one big provocation. When you look at the video, you will see they are literally aroused by this fact. Like Dylan Mulvaney, Contino's online persona is about being trans. It's also trolling, so hyperbolic, that for a while I simply assumed the idea was to paint the trans community in the most loathsome light possible, but it seems that Contino actually is that awful. There's also an OF account. For only $8.99, Contino promises to, quote, show everything, with an eggplant emoji in the bio. But I thought you were a woman. More proof that this dude does not belong in the women's bathroom. While the demand for affirmation from complete strangers is bizarre, Contino needs to be affirmed by other women in the loo is dangerous. But the influencer isn't alone in bathroom activism. There are also videos of trans activists having dance parties and sit-ins in ladies' rooms. I mean, these people get off on this. Here's the video, and you can just see how they are literally creaming their jeans over the fact that, look at this.
Made it into Disney World. I don't really know what the deal is with bathrooms. No floor.
You could have figured that out, you know. You're a biological male. You're allowed to be trans, fine, but you're supposed to use the men's restroom.
Florida is really conservative. I don't know what the rules are. Trans women are allowed to be in women's bathrooms, but I'm about to.
As Viva Fry says in chat, by the way, it's overt misogyny and a pathological narcissism. I agree. By the way, he also live streams generally right after me. So make sure you check out his live streams.
To go and use the bathroom because I have to tinkle. If I get stopped, I get stopped.
Why does he say tinkle? Because he's, you know, again, getting off on it.
Stopped, I guess, but I'm a woman, so I'm going to use the
You're not a woman.
bathroom, and being in Florida or being in California or wherever isn't going to stop me. So I will report back in a minute once I have hopefully tinkled without
Tinkled.
3 minutes later. That went as well as it could have gone. No one gave me any weird looks.
Somehow, you know, in a different world, one of those women's husbands or boyfriends would have handled this. But who can blame them when they paid $3,000 to bring their family to Disneyland, not wanting to get out, not wanting to get kicked out and arrested, you know?
Definitely no one stopped me.
No one stopped? No one stopped you, so that makes it right.
Which is something I'm sometimes a little self-conscious about with the sound. Think, oh, is there someone peeing standing up there? But you don't let my feet standing up, and it was fine. And
why? I thought you were a woman. Women don't pee standing up, so why did you do that? This is all a lark. By the way, in Florida, it is in fact illegal for biological male to use women's restrooms unless there's no other option. So I think Governor Ron DeSantis has seen this video. People in Florida, like a Florida lawyer, like maybe Viva Fry, should issue a complaint because this person filmed themselves in the act of a crime. Multiple acts of multiple crimes. Using the restroom is illegal. Filming in the restroom, probably also. And the fact that they're so proud of themselves for peeing standing up, understand that they are proud of themselves because they made other women feel uncomfortable.
And then I washed my hands and I left. And you know what? On my way out from the women's bathroom, I took a quick picture with someone who recognized me, and it was lovely. So
yeah, it was probably Chris Hansen. You know, some Florida person should be, you know, the code is 553.865, private access. This section may be cited as the Safety in Private Spaces Act. There you go. Ron DeSantis should press charges. Women should have safe spaces, you know, the bathroom should be safe for women. It's bad enough I gotta pee next to this gentleman, okay? But I'm willing to take that sacrifice so that this guy, in my opinion, can't predate on women at their most vulnerable. It's absolutely vile. He belongs in jail.
Let the MAGA Civil War commence! I don't think anyone's winning that one. All of this as now we have Jeffrey Epstein's and Donald Trump's lawyer coming out and making it that much worse, as he has just called for Donald Trump to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell, someone that Donald Trump had some very interesting statements about that raised some eyebrows that he previously doubled down on in previous interviews. What's going on here? Of course, there's an intercomplicated web here, as I want to get into the kind of crazy world that Jeffrey Epstein lived in, as of course he had his own baby eugenics population control factory in New Mexico. It wasn't even like that. He was making dolls with cameras in them that he wanted everyone buying. He had offices at Harvard and scientific projects ongoing with some of the most biggest prominent people in the world that we have still yet to know anything about. There's a Harvard connection, and all of this is coming out as the love affair between Elon Musk and Donald Trump is over. The implications are vast here, and this is going to be a very deep down the rabbit hole type of video that we are going to be doing here. And if you appreciate that, subscribe, click the notification button. We always appreciate you being able to support this independent media network that has been talking about Epstein for an extremely long time. The corporate media was promoting him. The corporate media cheerleading him. Oh, great entrepreneur. Look at this great Wall Street business guy that no idea anyone knows where he got all of his money. We still don't. Oh, yeah, it's so great. We're like, hey, he's a registered offender. Also, meeting with Elon Musk in 2011. We'll get into all of it. We'll get into all of it here in this particular video, so you are here at the right place. As in the making of this video, Alan Dershowitz, Trump's and Jeffrey Epstein's former lawyer, came out and said that this is the perfect time. This time is a little bit crazy now, especially as Elon Musk accused Donald Trump of being on the Epstein client list. The two had a relationship together. There's no denying that. But now, with us not getting any disclosures, not getting any information, now Alan Dershowitz believes it's the perfect time for Donald Trump to sink his legacy, his presidency, his political career by pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell. Now listen, Donald Trump has been on a pardon spree lately. The comments that he has been making against Ghislaine are a little worrying, which could potentially, listen, we live in a reality that this could actually happen here. I remember asking Alan Dershowitz about if he would be happy if the Epstein client list would be released on the Trump, and he wasn't too happy about me asking him that question. But according to the Daily Mail, Alan Dershowitz said, quote, certainly she should get a commutation. She was in part a victim of Epstein. As there's victims that say that she was actually the figurehead out of all of this. There's victims that said that she was ruthless, that she was evil, and that she was the one outside of public schools procuring a lot of the children to go, quote, give Epstein massages. And then compensating them $500. And that's why in Florida, Epstein went down for the crime of soliciting workers of the night that were, quote, underage. But the underage part wasn't that significant in that part, as, of course, Alex Acosta, Trump's Secretary of Labor, gave him a sweetheart deal of a lifetime, and then became part of Trump's administration, and then he came out and said, yeah, Epstein was a part of the intel agencies. Now, Alan Dershowitz now urging to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell here, as there are victims that have lost their lives here. There's Caroline and Adriano. She was a courageous young mother. She helped convict Ghislaine Maxwell. She was found unalived in a West Palm Beach hotel as her passing was ruled an overdose. She left behind 5 children and, quote, a mountain of unanswered questions, according to the report X. There's also Virginia Giuffre, who also met her end, and she specifically talked about Ghislaine Maxwell playing a major central role in this trafficking and extortion operation. Now, Alan Dershowitz now calling for this now, urging Trump, do this now, is some of the worst advice ever. As there is a big MAGA base that is saying, listen, there's a reason the MAGA Civil War is as intense as it is right now, because there's still some legitimate questions about that Epstein client list not being released here. There's still some very serious questions about the predators in our society that are still hurting small children out there that have never yet been held accountable, that we were promised would be held accountable. We haven't gotten any kind of document. We're getting kind of obfuscation and that kind of direction from the FBI now that's telling us, no, we have to talk about how he met his end. I'm like, no, we don't. That shouldn't be what we're talking about here. We should be talking about holding accountable some of these very powerful people here. Now, I want to play some of these Trump comments here, because they are pretty big here. This is Donald Trump in 2020. July 21st, 2020. Donald Trump had this to say about Ghislaine Maxwell, which was strange.
Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison, and so a lot of people want to know if she's going to turn in powerful people. And I know you've talked in the past about Prince Andrew, and you've criticized Bill Clinton's behavior. I'm wondering, do you feel that she's going to turn in powerful men? How do you see that working out?
I don't know. I haven't really been following it too much. I just wish her well, frankly.
What? A lot of people, why would you wish someone well that you were in the close circles of that was just prosecuted for committing a very heinous, awful crime against children? I'll play the rest of that clip in a little bit, as well as Donald Trump doubling down on that clip in another bizarre thing, which highlights, hey, there's a possibility might actually be pardoned. We'll fill you in a little bit. Before we do, we wanted to tell you about LukeUnfiltered.com. It's that little link down in the description. Click it right now. Come here. And then whatever you could afford, we appreciate you signing up. We appreciate your generosity. We appreciate you being an amazing human being and supporting this independent media broadcast for less than just 20 cents a day. That's one of the markers that you can participate in. I talk to all my members on the Telegram channel. We have 13 years of exclusive videos. We, of course, have a lot of content centered towards helping you become the best, strongest, most amazing version of yourself. We have 3 master classes. We have seed oil cards. And we're doing a meetup just for members July 9th in Milwaukee. Heard that correctly. July 9th in Milwaukee. Me and the Quartering, we're doing a meetup just for members of LukeUnfiltered.com. The location will be sent to members 12 hours before the meetup. So sign up, get more details about that by becoming a member at LukeUnfiltered.com. And you get to network, you get to meet cool people. A lot of people are going to be traveling in. I'm going to bring other surprise guests and influencers to be a part of this meeting. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be pretty exciting. All just by becoming a member of LukeUnfiltered.com. And then for the following type of weekend, I'm talking about doing some kind of range day with the members like we did beforehand. We have a lot of fun doing those. I appreciate doing those. And that's one of the many things that we have available to you just by signing up and becoming a member of LukeUnfiltered.com. And again, hey, you appreciate me going to the island, risking my life for that? You appreciate me talking about this, risking my life, as I have been for an extremely long time? Subscribe. It really does mean a lot to us. We're trying to grow, build, and expand. I really want to go to Bilderberg, but it's looking like the costs for that will be just too expensive. I'm almost in the clear when it comes to dealing with this huge kind of financial assault that has been conducted on me by the IRS. With that now finally, fixing itself, I'm going to try to save more money and try to go out there and get a camera person. It would mean a lot if you guys help me do that by signing up to LukeUnfiltered.com. All right, let's play the rest of this clip here, because this is wild. This is something that a lot of Trump supporters were either totally silent about. They were like, I don't know about it. We talked about it because it's bewildering and wild to wish someone well who just has been accused of procuring small children for world elites to do whatever they wanted to do with.
Met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well, whatever it is. I don't know the situation with Prince Andrew. Just don't know. Not aware of it.
Prince Andrew should be investigated for his crimes. Probably won't know because of Virginia Giuffre meeting her head. Now, a lot of people are like, what the hell is Donald Trump saying here? And he doubled down on this shortly afterwards, in August of that same year, 2020, as he was asked about this, and this is what he responded to, saying, hey, you're wishing someone that hurt small children well.
Epstein was either killed or committed suicide in jail.
Either he did this, or that. Now the FBI declared it was, oh yeah, he absolutely did it to himself. Donald Trump doesn't believe that.
She's now in jail. Yeah, I wish you well. I'd wish you well. I'd wish a lot of people well. Good luck. Let them prove somebody was guilty. I mean, you know that...
Oh, so you're saying you hope she doesn't die in jail? Is that what you mean by wish her well?
Her boyfriend died in jail, and people are still trying to figure out, how did it happen? Was it suicide? Was he killed? And I do wish her well. I'm not looking for anything bad for her. I'm not looking bad for anybody. And they took that...
I mean, she's a child sex
big deal. But all it is her boyfriend died. He died in jail. Was he killed? Was it suicide? I do. I wish her well.
Huh. A very weird statement now. Now, let's just say Donald Trump listens to his former lawyer and frees Ghislaine Maxwell now, on top of not releasing the client list, on top of just being accused of being on that client list by Elon Musk, on top of us not getting any kind of clear, definitive answers, nor any type of prosecutions. That right there is something that I would say would stain Donald Trump's reputation to an extent that there's no going back from. And again, Donald Trump was close friends with Epstein. Now, there's an argument to be made here to defend Donald Trump here. But Donald Trump came out in an interview and talked about how he has known him for 15 years, that he's a, quote, terrific guy, he had a lot of fun with him, that he likes beautiful women, as quote, as I do, And, quote, many of them are on the younger side. This is what Donald Trump said previously beforehand. Now, Elon Musk, speaking to Tucker Carlson, this was in 2024, talked about how Trump was going to release the Epstein list. Trump hasn't. This could be one of the reasons, as a lot of the documents, a lot of the information, is still sealed, still kept away from the general public. Now, there's an argument to be made here for Donald Trump. I'm going to be making that argument in a little bit. Before I do, though, this was Elon Musk's thinking, talking to Tucker Carlson just a few months ago. And now, Elon's coming out and saying, we're not getting it because Trump's a part of it. That's what he's hinting at here. As a lot of people are saying he has a crash-out moment, but I think it's fair to entertain all possibilities here, because it's needed now more than ever with just how bizarre and how big of a conspiracy this entire story is. Now, again, we'll tell you how Donald Trump actually helped the victims here in a little bit, but before that, here's the clip here from Tucker Carlson.
You know, I think part of why Kamala's getting so much support is that if Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public. And some of the billionaires behind Kamala are terrified of that also.
Yeah, 100%. Reid Hoffman, Bill Gates, all these top powerful players, the big banks. There's a reason the Diddy party list, trick off list, was all the biggest names in Hollywood. There were also the biggest names supporting Kamala Harris. Listen, there's powerful players out there that are against Donald Trump, that for some reason Donald Trump hasn't cleaned house with, which he can through the Epstein client list.
Reid Hoffman's uncomfortable. Yes. Okay. And I only asked that because you can sort of just look at them. That's a grown person right there. I don't know. I mean, yeah. Reid Hoffman was my vice president of development at PayPal. Yeah. 24 years ago. Does he seem nervous to you? Yeah, I mean, he's terrified of the trumpet.
Yep, but listen, there's another aspect of this that I think it's worth entertaining. Because we know Donald Trump partied and they knew Epstein and they were all, hanging out. But according to Don Jr., who spoke to me, and Judge Either as a Libertarian, they kicked out Epstein because he was inappropriate towards a child. Now, look at this picture. Who else is in this picture? Who's that guy right there? Oh, that's Jeffrey Epstein. Who else was at this meeting? This guy, Elon Musk. When did this meeting happen? March 2011. Who else was there? Jeff Bezos, Sergey Brin, Elon Musk, Jeffrey Epstein, who was a registered S offender at the time of this meeting. What happened during this meeting? What was going on here? As these type of relationships also, I think, are worth examining. If we're going to be examining Trump, let's examine what happened here. I asked on Twitter, what happened at this meeting? I think that's an important question, since a lot of very powerful people are implicated here. And listen, if you know someone is on the Epstein client list, you don't give them your child to hang out with privately. That's just the truth here. Now, listen, Epstein's lawyer came out and responded to Elon Musk's claim that Trump is named in the files by coming out and specifically talking about, quote, how I was hired to lead the Jeffrey Epstein defense as his criminal lawyer 9 days before he passed. He sought my advice for months before that. I can say authoritatively, unequivocally, and definitively that he had no information to hurt President Trump. I specifically asked him. It's not just him, it's also Trump's DOJ that was going to Epstein, according to his cellmate, and said, give us dirt on Donald Trump, and we'll make a lot of your problems go away. We'll give you a slap on the wrist. Those nice country club jails, you'll just be there for a little bit. We might even give you a prisoner release like we did last time, where you were able to, of course, just walk in and out of jail whenever you wanted to, with police protection, as you're able to go into your office. Small children coming in and out of it. As police officers were standing by, looking at you doing all of that. Now that's corruption. That is a big, big time corruption. Now, listen, Donald Trump's actions from here on out will kind of dictate a lot of this. Listen, there's also Bradley Edwards, Epstein's victim's lawyer, that said that the only person who really picked up the phone and talked to them and was very helpful, giving them information about Epstein, was Donald Trump. Okay? Listen, clearly the two were friends. They weren't friends anymore. What happened between them two? Is there any compromise dirt? I would figure, listen, if you got dirt on Donald Trump, I mean, they released everything against him. They had people coming out saying the craziest, wildest stuff against Donald Trump. I mean, they were throwing the book at him. They were shooting him. And they were trying to put him away for jail for what was it, 700 years he was facing? Multiple felony charges. And, listen, if Donald Trump really was guilty, I think they would have released that, and they would have tried to tank and destroy his political career. Now, the fact that they have it kind of shows us that they might not have what they think they have. But, again, there is smoke here, and when there's smoke, there's fire. I learned that. I had another person fire at my property. Everything was fine. Everything's okay. I took it out. Luckily, I was very vigilant and got right on it and stepped into action. But there's a lot of smoke. As we're also finding out that the New York Times reported how Jeffrey Epstein was one of the main financial backers of Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel playing a major role in this Trump administration, especially when it comes to the promotion of kind of TV bans. Peter Thiel was also involved here. A lot of money moving back and forth. A lot of kind of weird kind of eugenics, population control operations between Jeffrey Epstein. As of course, he wanted to impregnate 20 women at a time at his baby ranch in New Mexico, as he was trying to implant the human race with his DNA by impregnating as many women as he could. Sounds like something that Elon Musk would be into. Maybe they talked about it in 2011. Who knows? But again, as the story kind of unfolds here, as it kind of continues barreling down in so many of these kind of weird, crazy, insane ways here, we got to understand here, we still don't have the truth. And we do not know what in the world is going on here. What happened here? What's leading to this? Will he actually pardon Ghislaine Maxwell? I don't think so. I think it would be just political career suicide. I know the Russians are trying to now get Elon. But it looks like Elon knows a lot more than he's letting on to. Is he correct, though? Or is he just emotionally spurging out here? I don't know. But if there ever was a clear pathway all out of this, it's for Donald Trump just to release the Epstein client list now. Just release it. Get it all out there. Prove to the world that, hey, I'm a person that not only keeps my promise, but I hold all these powerful people accountable for the horrible things that they did to thousands of children, and I'm going to stop them from doing it to thousands of more children. That right there. That would be epic. Will that happen? Probably not with the way that things are going and the way that they're shaping up. And that right there, especially with Elon's comments, creates a lot of doubt. A lot of benefit of the doubt. That isn't going to be granted. Isn't going to be given to him. Because of these kind of weird comments surrounding Ghislaine, his lawyer that represents him, and Epstein. And listen, Donald Trump's on a pardon spree. It wouldn't surprise me. There's a small chance. I would say it's like a 5% chance that this actually happens. But if it does, it's not going to be a good look for Donald Trump. The best look for Donald Trump, release all the lists. Will that happen? What do you think? Let me know down in the comments section below. Sign up to LukeUnfiltered.com. Again, a lot of this stuff isn't easy to talk about. If you appreciate our work, subscribe. We need your support more than ever. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. All here exclusively on YouTube.com.